The opinions expressed in the following program are not necessarily those of Eastlink Community TV, its sponsors, or partners.
This episode of RT Cooks It is made possible by the generous support of Hickman Automotive Group.
Hello everybody, my name's Chris. My friends call me RT. This is RT Cooks It. Today we're making some sausage sandwiches. I got my car in the shop and I got a loaner. For some reason, I think it might be an electric car. I got to run to the grocery store. I'll be right back. Yes, today it's a grilled sausage sandwich. We're going to put the sausage on your skewer. It helps us cook it a little more evenly. We get a little thinner. You don't need a full sausage on a sandwich. This way you get a little less. We're going to get the fire going, but I kind of want to show you what's on the go on this end. We flipped the Rat Rod BBQ around today. This is normally where I might have the oven. Last season, you might have saw the oven here. What I've got is fire brick down. And what the fire brick does is it helps even that heat across, and it absorbs all the heat and helps hold it in place. You can hold your heat a lot longer. And this end of the barbecue I've made so it sort of fits those skewers. We can fit the variety of skewers right across and cook right here on top of the coals. We'll get this going, we'll get this fired up, and then we'll get into talking about some different skewers I have and why I feel I need such a variety. This is not going to take long to get this going. We're about 10 minutes away from cooking the sausages, and the sausage and the sandwich is only going to take about 10 minutes to make from start to finish. It's going to be a quick run today. Skewers. Variety, variety, variety. In my mind, it's all about variety. This is called a super skewer, and it's got two tongs, and they're locked in, and they're stainless steel. I really like this for wings. I will load this up with wings, put that onto the barbecue, and the wings stay in control. They don't spin, they don't flip. The flat ones, you got to have some flat ones for that exact reason. Put vegetables on there. The small ones are nice for chickens when you're putting them on rotisserie. Multiples you can do with shish kebab. Wooden ones, these are great. You can roast some marshmallows, roast some Rice Krispie squares, roast some cheese, whatever you want, right over the fire. That's a great one. And of course then the two different sizes skewers. The wooden ones, these are the ones you soak in a bit of water. You soak these in water. It's a bamboo. Absorb the water. Put your meat and vegetables on it. Then you can just cook it as is. Of course, those don't fit across the same, but you can put those right on a grill. And then I picked up this wire skewer, which is a little different one, but I found what it's really cool for is I can string a bunch of meat on there, loop it through, put another big piece of meat here to hold it in place, and I can actually hang it on the hooks around the fire. So when the fire's burning, this is just hanging there full of vegetables. Fire is going. We're going to give that a minute to get going, and we're going to get everything out we need to make these sausages. Coals are set. Nice heat, 350 maybe. Bricks are warming up. This is all part of that nice even heat. It's going to evenly heat that whole space and those bricks. So now we're going to get that sausage onto those sword skewers. Quick wash of the hands. And like I said, I've said it many times, just wash them, wash them, wash them. If it comes to your mind, wash your hands. You're not going to over clean them. Here we have our sausages. So what we're going to do is we're going to open these up and take that casing off. We're going to do the same with all of them. Pull that casing off. Hopefully it's going to come off nicely. 1, 2, and once we get it all off, we're going to stick this on the skewer. And what's nice is it's going to thin it out, and it's going to cook a little faster this way, and it's going to make it so you can have the perfect size to fit the bun. We're going to make the buns up. We're going to have maybe we're going to grill the buns with a little bit of mayonnaise. That's always nice. We're going to build a nice little vinaigrette. I'm going to show you how to build a delicious vinaigrette, or even a rub or a paste. It can be a marinade too, from your favorite spice blend. I really like spice blends, big fan of spice blends. So here we have our swords, our skewers, our one of my favorites that I do have. And all we're going to do is we're just going to squat this right onto that skewer. So you put one on each side, just like this, flatten it down a bit, one on the other side, and then just run your fingers down and you'll see it's like a kofta. This is sort of inspired by a kofta, which is a sausage or a meat blend put onto a skewer like this and then cooked over a charcoal fire like we're about to do. So this one, spread out, nice and thin, perfect, perfect. That looks great. We'll get the second one going. This one's going to be only 2 sausages total. And we'll just spread that out, flatten that down. You can see it just sticks. And you want it to hold onto that sausage or onto that skewer. So we want to make sure we got enough meat on either side so the sausage comes around, grabs each other. And we'll put that right on that fire. So here you can see that nice fit to that skewer. This one we'll make sure we're all right. We'll get that one on. And now all we got to do is flip and flip and flip. Wash the hands, wash the counter. So I think I've said this before where I have a bowl back here and it's always got some dish soap and hot water. The other thing I do is I always put in a little bit of bleach. The bleach works as a great disinfectant. And it's just enough bleach so when you stir it, you can still smell that the bleach is in there. I can't tell you the ratio or the percentage, but it's just enough. You know there's bleach in there, but it's not enough that it's going to burn your eyes or burn your fingers or anything, right? And it's nice because now everything's sanitized. I just put bleach right across the whole thing, sanitized everything. Wash those hands. Check those skewers. Skewers are... Oh yeah, this is a perfect fit. If you can see, I can't see, you can tell they're already starting to cook. Little bit of color in them. Already perfect. Just let those simmer, let those hold. They'll be great. What are we putting on our sandwich today? Well, we got lettuce, tomato. We're going to put some red pepper. Does that look like a pepper? Red onion, shaved nice and thin, tomato, lettuce, red onion. And we're going to build a bit of a vinaigrette. And the vinaigrette, today we're going to use some wild game rub from Dark Side of the Grill. Great rub, great taste, love it. And it's a wild game, so it's sort of a blended, it works in a lot of different things. But I enjoy this rub. I'm going to turn it into a vinaigrette to pour right over top of my salad. I'll show you how we're going to do that. What else do we got? We got mayo and we got the buns, of course. The lettuce, we're going to cut it up. We're going to rinse that lettuce, wash that lettuce. We'll give these skewers a check. Another little flip. It hasn't been that long at all and they're already starting to cook. Now listen, don't go very far. We're going to come back and start building this sandwich up. We're going to have a taste. Can't wait to see you soon.
For Belfour, it's not just restoration. It's your home. Belfour, restoring more than property.
Whether it's an occasional helping hand or 24/7 assistance, TLC Nursing and Home Care offers in-home, household management, and workplace healthcare services. Celebrating 50 years of care in Newfoundland and Labrador.
This program is proudly presented by the all-new Dodge Hornet and Hickman Automotive Group.
All right, we're back. Now, full disclosure, I was rooting around the fire with the poker and I knocked one of the skewers off right down into the coals. So I saved it and I put it inside of the pan. But you can see this one here is cooking beautifully. It looks so good. It's actually almost completely cooked. This one I flipped over once. We'll get back over and we're going to go ahead and make that vinaigrette. And this is a vinaigrette that you can make with any spice blend you like. What you got to do is you got to pay attention to the salt content. So this one here in particular is 100 milligrams per gram. So I know that I can put in about a tablespoon worth. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to say that's six tablespoons of olive oil. We're going to go 3 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. No, sorry, 2. I got this all messed up. I've gone sideways. We are at 6 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, and 1 tablespoon of rub. How do you measure a tablespoon? I don't normally measure. If you've been watching, I don't measure much. But we're going to measure this time because it's kind of important for that salt content. So we're going to call that a tablespoon, and we'll put that in. 6 tablespoons of oil, 2 tablespoons of vinegar, 1 tablespoon of rub. Give that a good shake. And while we cut up the toppings for this sandwich, we're going to continuously shake this. This is only going to take about 10 or 15 minutes for everything to blend together and be ready to put on top. So there's that, ready to go. Move all this back. We'll get into that lettuce. The lettuce, we want shredded lettuce. So I have my grandmother's plastic knife, so the lettuce does not brown. And we're going to cut that and we're going to shred it. So now we have some shredded lettuce. Into the spinner to give it a wash. You always want to wash lettuce. Well, you want to wash everything. We talk about this all the time. Make sure your tomatoes are washed. Make sure your lettuce is washed. We'll just take that rinse bowl right out. Make sure we're on cold water and give that a good shake. And get your hands in there. Move it around. Make sure you're getting it broken apart and all rinsed very nicely. And really, when you add the water, you're actually going to crisp up the lettuce a little bit. It's going to like rehydrate it in a way and make that lettuce have a nice little crisp. We'll give that a spin. And what I always like to do is I take that lettuce and I dump the excess water out because I don't want the lettuce actually sitting in the water that I just spun out. It's only going to sog it out. So we have lettuce ready. Spice back here. Tomatoes, onions, check the skewers, give them a little flip. Oh, that looks delicious. We're going to turn the pan one over. It's like a big patty now, just turned into a big patty. It's pretty much cooked. I'm going to pull that off to the side a bit. This one here is not quite fully cooked, but it's close. Onions, how do we cut red onions? Depends on what you're doing with them. For me, I'm going to shave it nice and thin, and I want to go against the grain today. So you cut, that's the root. You cut off the top. Then you give that onion a slice down the middle. So now you have the root still attached. I like to pull off that first layer. It can be very dry and risky if you don't. I take off the whole first layer. There's that thin skin, and then I take off the next layer because I find that one can dry out. And you don't know it, unfortunately, sometimes until you bite into it. And it's really not appetizing. So for me, it's shaved. I'm going to put my fingers here as tight as I can. And I'm just going to try and push against my fingers very lightly and shave that as thin as I can. So we'll just keep going and slow. There's no rush here. There's no rush. Take your time. Get those nice and thin. You want thin slices for this sandwich to work out well. That'll be enough onion. Tomatoes, we're just going to give those a simple cross cut, right? Take off the top, the bottom, nothing wrong with the bottom, nothing wrong with that. You can eat that as well. And we want some nice slices for on top of this sausage sandwich. There we are, tomato. I'll do another. Off to the side. Here we go. Sliced tomatoes, simple, easy, rolling around on me. Good, firm tomatoes are going to make for a great sandwich. Check those sausages. I'm going to move this one over almost completely off now because it is practically cooked. I'll just leave that on top of right on top of that fire brick. We'll give this a little roll. I know it's a little hotter over here. Oh, yeah. You can just feel the heat coming up. Perfect temperature. All right, all the toppings are ready. We're going to go ahead and lather up those buns. I want to just take a little check on these sausages, see how they're doing. I think you can tell the moisture and the juice is still in this. It's dripping down a little bit. The one in the pan is definitely finished. Very juicy still, cooked right through, ready to go on to a sandwich. Now the buns, there's a lot of ways you can grill and toast a bun. Today I'm using mayonnaise, Miracle Whip actually. I really enjoy the little bit of sweet that's in there for a sandwich like this, and when it grills, it really browns up nicely. So, and I picked up these racks. I'll show you these racks here in a second. Let me just get a good coating of mayo on all of these buns. So the rack I picked up, this is a great rack to use at the campsite, use it around the house, even on the propane barbecue, it doesn't matter. It's like a disposable rack almost, but it works well and it holds things nicely. So for this, we're going to toast the bun. So I'm going to take the buns, spread the buns out like this, and then we're going to put that right, slide this over, a little less heat. We're going to put that right on top. Now I don't need to deal with the buns. I'm just going to pick up the whole rack and put the rack back over there once I figure it's toasted. And if I don't like, I just give those hands a quick wash. If I don't like the speed that it's happening at, I'm going to take that grate and put it right down on top of the coals, and the grate is going to be your little bit of a barrier. It'll toast still nicely, and you won't get too many coals on it. So we'll leave that toast up. Sausages are done. Toppings are done. We're going to mix a drink when we come back. You're going to love it. Don't go too far. We're coming back. We're going to put this all together. We're going to have a drink. We're going to make a lovely sausage sandwich. Stick around.
This program is proudly presented by the all-new Dodge Hornet and Hickman Automotive Group.
TLC Nursing and Home Care offers a province-wide team of registered and licensed practical nurses, personal care attendants, and homemakers to help their clients maintain independence at home. Celebrating 50 years of care in Newfoundland and Labrador.
For Belfour, it's not just restoration. It's your home. Belfour, restoring more than property.
All right, and we're back. Sausage is simmering. Buns are toasting. I'm sure you've heard of a Spanish coffee, possibly even an Irish coffee, but have you heard of an RT coffee? This is going to be dynamite. We got two types of whiskeys. We got a cream whiskey and we got a cold brew whiskey. I'm going to put in 2 shots of espresso, probably closer to 4 shots. But we have a nice little espresso machine. We'll get that rolling. One more. I need another one to finish this off perfectly. We got 1 shot in, some ice. We're going to want to cool this off. It's a cold coffee. Some ice. Cold brew whiskey, 2 ounces. And some cream Canadian whiskey. We're going to go with 2 ounces of that as well. And we need 1 more shot of espresso, which is back in the machine now, finished and ready to go. Nice little quick espresso machine. Lots of ice. We're going to give this a good shake. We want to cool off that espresso. And the ice is going to cool off that espresso. We'll get that into our coffee cup, ready to go. Tell me that is not a beautiful looking cup of coffee. Perfect amount. A little taste just to make sure it turned out okay. Oh, you know, mixing espresso with some sort of liquor is absolutely delicious. What a great drink. Let's get into the sausage. Buns are toasted. Sausage is done. We'll get all that over here to rest for a minute. I just want to show you my new addition to the garage, and this is something I'm very happy to have. As you've noticed, I have my Rat Rod BBQ indoors. We installed this wonderful commercial style exhaust fan. And because of this exhaust fan and the design of this exhaust fan, I can run charcoal, I can run fire, propane, I can do the flat top grill in here. This thing will suck the pasta out of the pot if I'm not careful. I'm telling you, I can't wait to use this more and more and more. And I'm using it on weekends with my friends. This is like an Argentine, Brazilian, this is the original cooking method. Wood, fire, charcoal. This is how you originally started cooking. This is long before microwaves, long before all that stuff. There's a wonderful American style barbecue, which is smoking. Long, low, and slow, and it puts this beautiful flavor and texture into things like brisket. And then you have this style of cooking, which is open fire cooking, Argentine cooking, Santa Maria style cooking. It's all these different styles rolled into one, and the charcoal in the fire is actually a flavor. It's like a spice that gets added into the food. I can't wait to continue cooking and learning and playing around with this. This is the most fun I've had cooking in a very long time. This barbecue, this wonderful hood I have in here. Newfoundland weather, I got you. Rain, drizzle, fog, wind, whatever you got to throw at me, I got you beat. You're not getting in here at me now. This barbecue's running any day of the week. It does not matter what you throw at me. Let's get into that sausage sandwich. Let me tell you, I'm looking forward to sampling this. Like I said, we had a little mishap. We lost one of the skewers. I was a little aggressive with the poker. That's okay. So we have a wonderfully toasted bun. Any bun will work. And all you do is you take your sausage, put it on the skewer, give it a touch on both sides where you want it to cut off, close that bun and pull that sausage right off. So now you have the base of this beautiful sandwich. That sausage is laid in there. We're going to take some lettuce. Got to have some lettuce to absorb some of this vinaigrette we're going to put on. Few chunks of tomato. Make sure we're not missing out on anything. We're going to get everybody in for a sandwich here today. I got 3 made, and there's 3 of us here today. I'll just put that down. Vinaigrette, one more little spin. Now remember, I know I said it 8 different ways to Sunday, but I'm going to tell you the right way right now because I remember. 6 tablespoons of oil, 2 tablespoons of vinegar, 1 tablespoon of not very salty rub. If it's salty, go down to a teaspoon and then bump up a little bit from there. But definitely start at a teaspoon. Anything greater than a teaspoon, and I think you're going to overdo it a little bit, and I think it'll be too salty. All right, one more little shake. A little drizzle of this across the top, just to make sure we got full flavor. Get into this sandwich. The tomatoes, everything's holding together. You can see we got a bit of a monster, a bit of a mess. It's dripping everywhere. Make sure we don't miss tomato, lettuce, onion, everything in the bite. Juice everywhere. I didn't mention in the beginning. Sorry. Woo! What a beautiful. That sauce, that vinaigrette, it's the same as the rub. The flavor of the rub with a little bit of vinegar flavor. What a beautiful, beautiful flavor. I forgot to mention, we're using a bratwurst sausage today. That bratwurst sausage is a very mild, very simple sausage, but I don't want to say simple. Simple ingredients, very, very small amount of ingredients, but wonderful, wonderful flavor. What a beautiful sandwich. Follow me on all your favorite social medias. Don't go very far. Next week, we're going to have another great cooking adventure. Come back right here to Eastlink Community TV, Channel 10 at 610. Thank you for watching.
RT Cooks It is sponsored by Hickman Automotive Group.